Hey there, Steve from Camping with Steve. We're not camping, and this is not the video any of us want to see. I don't even want to be filming this, but I'm at the Acreage. I've been stuck here. The vehicle is not exactly working, our little Hyundai. The new one's coming in a couple of weeks, which is good, but with the way the roads are and the front end is so messed up on this car that I'm like struggling. It feels like there's a crosswind from either direction, like feels like the wheels are gonna fall off. So I've got a car rented tomorrow for the next 2 weeks until the one we bought arrives. So that is where we're at there. And we've had a ton of tradespeople in the house. We've got ductwork going in, furnace, plumbers out. So I'm just gonna do a show and tell here. Crazy neighbors here, and he's been actually doing the heavy lifting here, because with these tradespeople there's decisions that I have to make, and they've been very patient, waiting for me to get them some designs, because we're not going from drawings here. I'm just kind of trying to figure things out. So let's take a look at the place and see what's changed lately. So on this side we've got 3 bedrooms framed up with closets. They're all about the same size. It's we have to stop here because there's concrete to be poured over there, and there is that the bedroom you're claiming? Anyway, so we got these 3 framed up, and let's go to the back room and see what's happening there. Well, hard to believe there's actually a furnace in here now. When we started the build, and actually when we bought the place, there was not a proper ventilation or heating system in here. It's just been like the wood stove and a small unit on the outside of the house, which was very inefficient and not appropriately sized. So we've got sheet metal guys in. They dropped in the furnace. Really good local guys, great crew out here, and they've really been making the best they can with all these wonky angles and things that are in here that weren't done quite appropriately. But moving right along. Oh. Okay, I'm in what's going to be the master bedroom. There's a walk-in closet here. You can walk right into it. What could be better than that? And we've done an angle on this wall here so we can walk right in, move furniture a little easier than it was before, because it was really boxed off. When you walked into the house, all you would see is the kitchen until you came around the corner into the living room. And who wants to walk into the kitchen when you're walking into a house? Alright, for the last week I've been sleeping out here just on a cot right over here in the quad shop repair area, and it's been quite cozy. Here in the ensuite, or right now the quad repair shop, and our plumber came in and he scoped out where these drains actually go, because we have no idea what's underneath of this slab. And that way we can actually get some clean outs put in and get things right up to par. And that is the entire goal of this operation, is to have a livable house that's not leaking, not falling apart, and that is done to code properly. One of the big unexpected surprises from this week that I've had to really be around for is some roofers, because we got leaks, and they crop up usually when it's ice damming or when the snow's melting. In the summer we hadn't have a problem, but the roofers told us we got the wrong type of roof on here. Like for this pitch, which is 1.5 on 12, we're only allowed to use 2 types of things: tar and gravel, or this standing seam roofing. They dropped off some samples here, but basically these panels, they roll them off of a big spool on the truck, and they go up the whole length of the house, so there's no joints this way going down it. And when they get these pieces, these are 2 different colors because that's what we got, but they latch together like that, and all the fasteners are underneath. There's no screws going through, which is kind of the problem here, among other things. And then they seam this together and bend it over with this electric seam machine. And I'm told it's the best, 40-year warranty, and yeah, it doesn't end. The people that said money pit, you're not quite correct, but definitely a time black hole where when I come out here, there's always decisions to be made, contractors to meet, people to pay, etc. So we're still, like, this is not an extravagant property. This is like a very inexpensive place for obvious reasons. There were so many deficiencies that there was no possible way that it would get anywhere remotely near market value. But just takes a lot of work. Beautiful wife and I originally thought that we can, you know, start hacking away at this in our spare time, but just with the scope of work to be done, it kind of has to be all done at once, particularly the electrical and various other things to be done. For once, we're going to have actual ducted heat with cold air returns, and I couldn't be happier. This extremely temporary furnace install was an old scrap furnace that I got my hands on, and it's been keeping the place warm. But you can obviously see why I wouldn't want to attempt to actually install a furnace myself. I can really repair them quite well, but don't hire me for an install. This is the only functioning bathroom in the house, and what it's really missing is a bath. There's just a toilet in there, and then we got one working sink over towards the kitchen, and there is a section here that just has gravel instead of what should be concrete. So yeah, we're holding things up and framing it in right now, and we're going to have to do a concrete pour here. We've scoped out again more of these drain lines so we know where and how we'll have to cut things when it comes time to design these bathrooms and get an actual decent plan in place. This old trusty guy is a Federal Pioneer panel, and we have to replace it. Our electrician has advised that it's really tricky to find breakers these days with supply chain things, etc., particularly arc fault ones and whatnot. So when we get that replaced, we're moving it over here onto the wall, a little further from our homemade water treatment system. That's also going to get replaced by a professional, because it really didn't do anything to help the water. We got this iron filter and this calcium one, or yeah, everything gets stained rusty here from the well water, and that's kind of the way it goes. There's this on-demand water heater. It's a Rinnai. I've worked on these before in the gas fitting end of things, but let's see. What these guys require, at least once a year, first off, is to not run off well water. That's the big one, without a water softener or something. But the worst is that I'm sure this thing has never had a flush. And what you have to do is run water through the inside, because all the calcium and everything kind of gets caked in there. And then it really restricts the flow. It stops working. So I'm going to try to give it a little flush and see if we can get it working better. And if not, then it's another thing to replace. But that's kind of the way things are going around here. But what these guys have done back here on the HVAC is just incredible. A lot of runs going to the end of the house, and they can't really be straight because the boards kind of wobble this way and that. But you know, it's really looking good for what they have to work with. And I've seen a lot of installs in my life. I'm very impressed, incredibly impressed. So yeah, that's kind of what's happened here. The roofing guy, we're going to get another quote or two on the roof. because it is more than I wanted to spend. But it has to be done before we put any drywall in or move too much further. We actually need water not pouring in. But it's only been an issue, like I said, when the snow melts. So, in other news, the school bus is up and running. That was another project that we tackled. It had a horrible diesel leak. It was probably losing. Crazy neighbor, what do you say? Gallon an hour?
What's that?
The bus leak, a gallon an hour?
Oh, easily. Easily.
Easily a gallon an hour.
Easily.
So, not the type of thing you're going to take down the road for a number of reasons. There's the environmental impact, and crazy neighbor. And then there's also the cost of the diesel. Which,
And a fire hazard.
And, you know, a fire hazard, a lot of reasons. But, so that's up and running, and we can finally get that show on the road again. We got a diesel heater we're throwing in at some point, and you know, I haven't really been posting a whole lot through this whole thing because it's, you know, we're constantly meeting with contractors coming in, running into town to get parts and supplies and stuff that needs to happen for the house. So it's I'm not trying to make an excuse, I'm just explaining what's going on. And yeah, we're leaving tomorrow once I pick up the rental car, and we're going to be heading out to a spot for that 2-day stealth, which I was going to do, but then I forgot about Valentine's Day. That was like right in the schedule on the nice weather days, and obviously I can only push my luck so far. My beautiful wife has been extremely patient with me. So that's that. The quad is running. Crazy neighbor got one of the quads running, and Jay was helping out here working on it. So that's running. If you check out his channel, you can see him actually driving it out through the door of the Acreage. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. There's that big wall of windows here that we're going to go look at, because that's, like, I guess one of the biggest things of the year other than underpinning the foundation and pouring concrete. Okay, so this wall here is obviously, if people have watched other house update videos, it's not right. Our engineer looked at it and said it's got to go. So we have to shore this up, and I don't know if anybody has like contracting experience on the sequence of flow of things that we need to do in certain orders, please please leave me a suggestion here, because you know, the roof has to be replaced, and I don't want to do that and then kind of raise this end a little bit, pull this wall out and put a new one in, because I don't want to mess up the roof, and I'm sure that voids the roof warranty if you raise it up, clearly. So I don't know, tell me what you guys think. And yeah, it's I'll put in some of the drone footage from when I flew through the place just last week, and you can kind of see how there's been some progress here, like major progress. And I have to thank all the people working on the house. We've got Dave, we got Jordan, we got Jay, we got guys, we got Brad, Walter, we got crazy neighbor John that hooked everybody up with hooked us up with this great design for all of the ductwork here. Canadian Clean Air Services. They're good folks if you're out by Seaview Beach. So that's where we're at now, and we are on the road starting tomorrow. I pick up that rental at noon, and we're out of here with some camping gear and to get stuff back on track. So thanks guys for being patient. I know the impatient ones are probably already unsubscribed, but I'm not going to ask anybody to subscribe here today. I put my long-suffering subscribers through enough here. So that's that. We'll see you when I can get this next one done. I've actually got enough of the plans in place here that I can step away from this place for a couple of weeks. And we got the rental car that can actually drive on the road instead of that Hyundai with no headlights. That's the other thing, I can only drive in the daytime. The headlights don't work. And there's the slow leak on the tire, the front end thing. I just don't want to sink any money into that when we have a new car coming. So thanks everybody. stay tuned. And before we... Hey, crazy neighbor. Is there a step 2 over there somewhere that I can crack for...
I think I can find you one.
Okay, crazy neighbor's going to find a step 2 so I can at least crack a step 2 after a long day of figuring things out for the house. So, yeah, we're looking at heading kind of west in some degree for this multi-day stealth, which I can't wait for. It's going to be a little cold one of the days, so I'm going to be bringing some propane. Hey, but thanks.
Hey, there you go.
We are. So,
Cheers, Steve.
cheers, crazy neighbor. Cheers, everybody.
Got a lot done.
We did get a lot done, and yes, there's enough off my plate for now that we can continue getting back to the camping. So, cheers, everybody. Stay tuned. There's more to come. I haven't forgotten about you. Take care. We'll see you soon. Cheers.